Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabans. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. So let's get straight into this. As you guys know, Skip Bayless is making his return to ESPN First Take tomorrow, marking it almost 10 years since the last time he appeared on the network. And it's something that kind of surprised a lot of people when we first heard the news. Simply because I remember when Stephen A. Smith was asked about this a few years ago, and he said, you know, kind of moved on. I don't want to go back to the past, blah, 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 blah. Then I woke up this morning and I saw various pundits giving their take on it. You know, Stephen A. is doing this because of this reason. Stephen A. is doing it because of that reason, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But in the midst of all of that, Shannon Sharpe, right? Shannon Sharpe, I think I told you guys a few days ago on this channel that I'd heard some rumors that Shannon Sharpe could potentially return to ESPN. Right after the lawsuit and all of that stuff. I heard that. I forgot where I heard it though, but I remember hearing that. Well, according to a new awful announcement report, it looks like that idea has been shot to hell. I'm going to read the article headline. It says Shannon Sharpe's First Take return not under consideration amid Skip Bayless comeback. And I'm like, ooh, well, looks like I was wrong about that. But before we even get into the details of this article, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, PrizePicks. All right, guys, the regular season is wrapped up and the NBA playoffs are finally here, and there's no better way to cash in on all of the high-flying hoop action than PrizePicks, a preferred partner of the NBA. Every bucket, every dime, every win means when you're making lineups on PrizePicks. And here's something you didn't want to sleep on. PrizePicks has the Do It Live 2026 NBA Finals sweepstakes going on right now. Make a $5 lineup with at least one live NBA player picked during the playoffs, and you could win a trip for two to the NBA Finals. That alone is reason enough to check out PrizePicks right now. I've been making lineups on the Celtics and Lakers players, and it makes watching the playoffs so much more fun. It's simple. Just pick more or less on player projections across basketball, baseball, hockey, and more. You can even pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup with stacks. And if your picks get off to a hot start, cash out early with easy payouts before the game even ends. PrizePicks is now available in all 50 states. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, a preferred partner of the NBA. All right, so let's continue on with this report. It says Skip Bayless is coming back to where it all started. On Friday, the godfather of sports debates television will return to First Take alongside his former longtime foil, Stephen A. Smith. The duo spurred on a genre of sports talk that has dominated the airways ever since, albeit in many different forms and iterations. Bayless, who's 34, hasn't exactly had a smooth go at things after departing ESPN for FS1 in 2016. Alongside Shannon Sharpe, he launched Undisputed, offering morning debate fodder that battled head-to-head with Smith and First Take on his old network. The show had a decent, unremarkable run, lasting 8 years before Bayless was shown the door at FS1 in 2024. Undisputed lagged well behind First Take in viewership for most of its history and lost its identity when Sharpe departed the show for its direct competitor in 2023. Since leaving FS1, things have gone from bad to worse for Bayless. In January 2005, Bayless was a party to a stunning civil lawsuit brought by former FS1 hairstylist, in which he was accused of propositioning the hairstylist for sex, engaging in an inappropriate physical contact, and making racist remarks. The suit has been settled, and Bayless never faced any criminal charges. With Bayless returning to ESPN under such circumstances, if for only a day, one would be remiss not to wonder whether his former sparring partner, Shannon Sharpe, who similarly settled a sexual misconduct allegation last year, but was removed from ESPN amid the scandal, would have a path to returning to First Take. After all, Stephen A. Smith called the effort to get Sharpe back on the show a work in progress earlier this year. This will not be the case, at least not anytime soon. A source familiar with the situation tells Awful Announcing that Shannon Sharpe's return to First Take is not under consideration at the moment. ESPN has historically exercised discretion in how it handles on-air personalities facing scandal, which is why the Bayless return is so curious. Bayless has not appeared on any mainstream sports outlet since FS1. The workplace misconduct lawsuit surfaced last year and has largely toiled in obscurity since his departure from FS1. Once a fixture of the morning sports talk, Bayless is now best known for posting lengthy screeds about the Dallas Cowboys on social media, offering up clear engagement bait to stay relevant. It begins, and then it goes on to say a few other things there, and then it says a few other things. So you guys can kind of read the rest of that article if you want to read it there. It's a bit wordy. What's my take on this? I have to admit to you that I am surprised. I won't lie to you. This development is a bit surprising to me. The reason it's surprising is because, yeah, Shannon, Shannon messed it up for himself. No one here is going to feel bad for Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe wasn't a victim of anything. He put himself in that situation, and he's a grown-ass man. But two things can be true. That can be true, but it can also be true that Shannon Sharpe is an immensely talented sportscaster. There's no two ways about it. And I said this about Shannon when he first got to FS1, and I love that show. And I said it maybe a few years ago. I said Shannon Sharpe will make more money in the next 5 years than he ever made in his entire life. I said that. The videos are out there. I said it because I was a huge fan of his. But I just didn't understand the antics surrounding him. I thought he was already popular enough, funny enough, charismatic enough to just do his work without needing all of the extracurricular things that came with it, with all of the antics and all. I thought it was unnecessary. I thought a lot of it was beneath him. And I thought that he diluted his brand by doing some of those cringeworthy things. Like, it would just come on, like, this is beneath you. But a lot of people that were egging him on at the time and supported him, they're nowhere to be found now. These people egged him on to the point where he lost his job. And that's why you got to be careful when you're the clown show and people are cheering you on. Just know that when the music stops, they'll move on too. So a lot of the people that would show you hating on Onk, you hating on Onk, where are they now? Where are they now? Are they sending Shannon Sharpe GoFundMe's? Not to say that he doesn't have money. Obviously, he's very rich. But you get the point that I'm making. Are they going to replace his ESPN salary? Of course not. People want to be entertained, even if it's at your expense. And even if people try to step in and say, hey, man, look, you're making an ass out of yourself. People will fight you because you're interrupting their entertainment. And Shannon Sharpe was their entertainment. People wanted to be entertained by the dirty section behavior. They loved it. People like myself didn't. It was after those recent incidents that a huge supporter in me of Shannon Sharpe, I just said I couldn't do it no more. I don't follow Shannon Sharpe on ESPN. I mean, anywhere. Instagram, I don't watch his shows. I mean, his shows may pop up from time to time. I'm not a supporter like I used to be because I thought like it went too far. It became a clown show. It was like the Kim Kardashian of sports. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? But all that being said, the guy's still very talented. Like, there's no question about it. And I think that if he were to make a return to ESPN, he would do very well. Now, some people complain and this and this and this, but I think he would, the guy, I mean, he's good. You can't take that away from him. There's a reason why he has such successful podcasts and he is who he is. We're not going to take that away from him. That's my take on it. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments when we catch you on the next show. Peace.